Anyways, so been working on that video, the PowerToys. If you haven't checked it out, if you're running Windows at all on anything, I highly recommend it, especially for a couple things. Fancy Zones is one that's really cool that you can really customize your layout for Windows. If you're tired of the 4 panes next to each other or quad 4 panes and want to do something else, Fancy Zones is a good way to do it. And then Run is one that I use all the time. If you're familiar with Alfred or Spotlight Search on Mac or on GNOME, it's just their Run tool, I guess. Also, you can type and search and do calculations, all that stuff right from a couple of keyboard strokes. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, that's what I've been working on. I decided to pull one out of the backlog and finally talk about it. And then now I need to get back to some other things. So anyways, I got a ton of cool stuff coming. I have like 2 things right here I just want to show you, but there's not enough context, so I probably won't. On top of all that, I'm pretty tired. I couldn't fall asleep. Then I got up, I don't know, earlier for a Sunday than I normally do, a little before 7. I think I only got about, 5 hours of sleep. So I'm not like tired. I'm just out of it. I guess it's a better way to put it. So, dude, anyways, let's get into this. So real quick. So anyways, if you have something you're working on, throw it in chat. Let's talk about it. Today's going to be just pretty chill stream. Not that it isn't anyways, but a little more chill because I'm a little bit out of it. If you can't tell by my eyes too, they're extra squinty today. So let's see. Oh, dude, thank you so much. Let's get into this. So CBN Sandwich, I called that out. Dude, thank you so much for the resub. Tier 1, 15 month streak Sunday. Let's go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Salvarius, I mentioned this earlier. Tier 1, 27 months playing around with self-hosted Node apps, Joplin and Trillium. Awesome. Sounds awesome. I've been thinking about Node apps too. Let me know. Let me know what you find out. Let me know. I heard there's a couple that have been bubbling up to the top, and I think it might be Joplin was the one I looked at, and I can't remember. But Jimbo Slice cheered 100 bits. Dude, thank you so much, Jimbo Slice. Akash the Bloop, thank you for the sub, Prime sub, thank you so much. Randoneering, how's it going, man? Resub, Prime, 9 months, weird stream, but okay, just kidding. Howdy, folks. Yeah, it is a weird day to stream, but I was... To be honest, I was feeling a little guilty yesterday because I said, I'm going to stream Friday. Then I got a meeting scheduled over it. Then I said maybe Saturday. And then I had to finish up the video. So I was like, ooh, I was feeling guilty. So I actually finished up the video, got it out. And I thought, hey, I have a little over an hour to spare. Let's hop in and talk to folks. So anyways, Alpha Computer, how's it going? Cheer 101, PC Geek, how's it going, man? 100 bits, cheer. Thank you so much. Thank you. While I'm calling these out, let me call out, there were a couple things right before the stream. I'll call those out real quick. Let's see, Dumb Bizarre, Alice, Yuli, and Dulosis. Hey, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. So yeah, let's get into chat. Let's see what you guys are working on. Let's talk about stuff. Let's talk tech. I need to feed my brain. Oh, one more quick thing. I kind of plays into what's going on with me, dude. Hey, thank you so much. Real quick, dude. The Red Baron, how's it going? What's up, dude? How's it going? Thanks for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. What's up, man? How's it going? It's my buddy. No, I work with him. So how's it going? I almost said your real name, but I don't want to call it your real name. What's up, man? How's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. So anyways, I mentioned earlier that I had a couple of things I was doing this week. One of the other things besides all the normal stuff I do is I'm heading up to 45 Drives, up to their headquarters, and they invited me to their first storage summit to talk to 45 Drives along with some other creators about storage, I guess, about storage, about the future of storage, maybe new products that they might be launching. It's kind of open. It's kind of open. And I actually have to give a presentation to them. That was, I didn't expect it. And that's another thing I'm working on, trying to slip into here, is working on my kind of my tech talk, I think, for them to kind of, I don't know if it's give feedback or just talk about some of my experiences, but I get to talk at 45 Drives in person this week, going up to Nova Scotia. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm going with Jeff Gerling, Wendell, Jeff from Craft Computing, And then Lawrence was going to be there, but he like injured his shoulder and stuff. You probably saw in his videos. He's wearing a sling. And so he is going to attend virtually. And then me. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm going to get to chat and talk with some people that I've looked up to on YouTube for a long time. So that's going to be awesome. And I don't know what I'm going to tell them that they don't already know. So anyways, it's going to be cool. I did post this out on Twitter, Mastodon, Threads, you name it. It's everywhere. YouTube, everywhere. I posted a question to people. If they had any questions they wanna ask 45 Drives, throw them at me somewhere. Probably not here because it's harder for me to get to this chat. Oh, you could. No, I'll try to get to it. But either Discord, LinkedIn, Twitter, Mastodon, Threads, anywhere that I posted, reply in that thread. Because I would like to kind of bundle up a lot of these questions or a lot of these things that people are wondering about with 45 Drives into something that I can, kind of still down and say, hey, here are the kind of themes that people are asking about or wondering about. And so if you have any questions, throw it at me and I'll try to answer them for you. Anyways, that was a lot of stuff. Let's talk about you. Let's see what's going on. Let's hop into chat. Let's see. I'm just gonna hop right in. Cool Cat. Hey, how's it going? Yo, Sunday stream. Yes, that's true. Let's see. Takano, how's it? Oh, Audacity. Sup? Hey, how's it going? Takano, here we go. Takano, had a fun time Friday. Had a chance to go into my old high school to train new students on the laser. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Takano already coming back and teaching these youngins. Takano's a youngin himself, but he's a little older than youngin now, so he's going back to his high school and training them on the laser that I think he helped to get there. So that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna skip through some of these because there are a lot of them me going back and forth. Takano even got the known troublemakers interested in writing notes. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I wouldn't say I was a troublemaker in high school, but I talked a lot for some reason. I like to laugh a lot, and I always ended up in classes with friends that would make me laugh even if I looked at them, and it got me in a lot of trouble. Not so much because I was like disturbing the class, but because I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have. And yeah, I have a handful of friends, like if I just look at them for more than 5 seconds, I'll start laughing because I know something ridiculous is going to come out of their mouth. So, but that's awesome, Takano. That is so awesome. I'm glad you're there for it, man. Glad you're there for it. Populous Mocha, how's it going? Good to see you. What's good? Let's see. DNS. Yeah, Jay Sizzle, DNS. I hear you. Let's see. This has been my weekend. While rebuilding my home lab. Yeah, it's always DNS, isn't it? It's tough. DNS is one of those things that it's the last thing you want to take down, and it's the first thing you want to have up. So yeah, I get it. Devin Verse, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Man, Sunday hype. Let's go. I hear you though. DNS can be a pain. It's great when it's there, and it sucks when it's not, or when it's wrong. Most of the time, you just want it to be there and right. Let's see, Thunder God, setting up Jellyfin and trying to get linked directly to my Unraid server. I see. Trying to get a linked directory, I see, from my Unraid server. That is awesome. That sounds tough, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. I haven't done a ton with Unraid, but everything I see, it's a ton of config and a ton of forms, as people probably want it to be. But it's a ton of config and a ton of forms, and haven't done much with it. I've seen tons of tutorials on it, so I hope you figure it out. Jay Sizzle, Unraid is nice, but at the same time, it's a pain. I don't know. I haven't done it. Like I said, I see tutorials on it sometimes, and I just see a wall of forms, which is totally fine. I mean, you could say the same thing about anything, Rancher, Portainer, any kind of website that's gonna let you fill in data instead of config is gonna be a wall of forms. But I think I think that the Unraid one is like next level forms, because like it's a lot. It is a lot going on in one screen. But But I'm sure, I mean, people love it. Works great. I have no qualms with it. And even a wall of forms sometimes is way better than going into SSHing into some weird folder and using Nano or VI to edit configs, because that's just as hard, maybe not, maybe harder, and more error prone because you can't do any validation on that kind of stuff. And so yeah, so nothing against the wall of forms. Jay Sizzle still trying to learn it over Proxmox. Hey, Proxmox is a great tool. Yeah, I wouldn't throw them into the same bucket, you know. Because Proxmox is primarily a hypervisor. It can run containers too, LXC containers, different kind of containers. I know a lot of people use it for the same things, but yeah, I guess I can see it as using I guess a lot of the same stuff. Storage is a little bit different. I mean, yeah, you could configure an LXC container with your SMB share. I'm sure a lot of people do, and your NFS share that way and do it that way on top of ZFS. Yeah, you could do it that way too. Yeah, I'd say it's a little more akin to probably true NAS kind of ish, where it's a NAS mostly first, storage mostly first, and oh, by the way, it can run containers. Although Unraid, it seems like, you know, most people are running that for Docker, and then, you know, it does a NAS at the same time. So, I mean, this is my observations. Let me grab a drink. Thunder God, yeah, why I'm moving away from it, but it still has all my files. Oh, that's okay. So I'm, yeah, that's too bad. Yeah, I don't know much. Like I said, don't know much about TrueNAS. Make sure that you still have your files. Your files are pretty important. So make sure that you have them. Make sure if you're going to move off that, you have your other NAS up and running, and then your first and second and third backup of that NAS backed up before you decide to jump ship. Jimbo Slice Chicago, how's it going? Good to see you. Adderlord, how's it going? Good to see you. Hello. Let's see. Jay Sizzle, I like that the OS for Unraid lives on the flash drive, given my small setup. Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point. You know, a lot of operating systems don't work that way. They write a lot. They can't be installed on, you know, mounted storage like that, or can be with some hacks. But yeah, it is nice when you have that, when you can do that. You know, I've even debated installing Proxmox on a flash drive. It can be done, and I've debated doing it, and I'm still debating doing it for my Intel NUCs, mainly because I want to free up that whole entire drive. I have 2 drives in there, and I want to free one up, instead of dedicating that to the OS, dedicating that to something else, storage or more VMs or whatever. And I know a lot of people are going to say, don't do it. And I've even said, don't do it. But I might. I might. Only because, like, you know, I run Proxmox in a cluster. My Proxmox server configs are backed up. And all of my VMs are also backed up. So if I lost one node in my cluster because I was writing to an SD card, then I could rebuild it if needed. Is it fun? No. Is it possible? Yes. Is it painful? Maybe a little bit. So I haven't decided yet, but that one's always a tough call. You have to take extra precaution. I'm not going to be the one to say don't do it, because if you look at Raspberry Pis, every single Raspberry Pi does it. I know it's a little bit different going, you know, using an enterprise system versus, you know, a Raspberry Pi, and there are ways around it, like log to RAM, to limit those reads and writes to the SD card, but still. I might be back in that camp. Thunder God, haven't touched PowerToys in a long while. Happy to see the unified interface for them all. Yeah, I know. I totally agree. I remember when it was a thing on like Windows XP, like that was the way to do stuff. I think ISO mount was in there, like a whole bunch of old tools were in there. A lot of the sysinternal stuff got lumped in there from Mark Rasinovich, I think, and yeah, it was an old tool, and then they brought it back, and now it's looking nice. Like I said, I feel like it's a test bed for a lot of Microsoft stuff. And I'm not saying like, I don't know. It's kind of a playground where, you know, developers can, you know, I guess, I'm sure they have a product owner, but, you know, recommend features to be added to PowerToys and then write them and then get them in to Windows that way if they want. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Mouse without borders is pretty awesome. I got to play with that quite a bit because I have 3 machines. It was kind of hard to capture. But being able to just mouse over to machines without RDP or anything, basically extending my desktop across 3 machines, but not really extending my desktop, just extending my KVM, my keyboard, video, mouse, well, keyboard and mouse, not video, across those machines is pretty cool. Even, and then like what blew my mind was the copy and paste function. So they built in copy and paste, and I'm not talking about clipboard text or anything like that. You can copy and paste 100 megabytes files. Just copy on one, paste on the other, boom, it's there. So it was pretty cool to play with and pretty cool to see it. And, you know, the interface is getting a lot better too. Bring it all together, like you said. Hey, Veteran BV gifted a tier 1 sub to Redstone Gamers. Hey, so Redstone Gamers, enjoy your gifted sub from Veteran BV. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Populous Mocha. Just got a new server, so migration time soon and configuring storage. But it's been a busy week this week in the home lab, moving things around, still working on automation, and finally set up a quick Kuma server. True NAS is next. Yeah, that is awesome, man. You're getting all your ducks in a row. Make sure DNS is up and working. That's one of my requirements. You know, it's like network appliance, DNS. Those are the first. Well, internet, network appliance. You know, my gateway firewall, switch maybe, and then DNS is usually next because you know if I'm reconfiguring everything, especially machines. And I need to reserve IP addresses or anything like that, I may as well create a DNS entry for them at the same time. So yeah, that sounds awesome. Moving stuff around, that is fun. I hear you. Oh, and then Uptime Kuma, you were like, hey, I'm gonna start monitoring stuff right away. That's also a good thing to get up right away too. That's the one that I forget sometimes when I spin up a new service is getting that entry in Uptime Kuma. So that is pretty cool. I wish Pi-hole had something built in to monitor too, or something. You know, I can just check a checkbox in DNS and just say, hey, you know, also monitor this thing. But then again, it's like, well, it's DNS. I'm tacking on more stuff for this DNS server to do, which I don't know. It already does more than it probably should. You know, it has one more than one responsibility. At least my Pi-hole does. Because it's doing ad blocking and everything else. But anyways, TrueNAS is next. That is awesome. Sounds like you are well on your way to getting your lab going. Anno. I'm going with Anno because I like it. Tech related. Gonna start working on Terraform pretty soon. Your opinion about Terraform? Hey, I like Terraform. I've only done a couple of things. I have a video on the one thing I did, but I terraformed. Can I use it as a verb? I will. I terraformed up. That's the command too, terraform up. Anyways, I created a configuration in Terraform to create, I'm trying to replicate my Cloudflare configuration in Terraform. And so I've done that with some of my DNS entries and DNS configuration because while the UI is nice, making sure that you have, you know, all the check boxes checked for all of your domains kind of stinks. Like I have 8 or 9 domains, maybe 10, I can't remember. More than the average person, but a lot less than like an enterprise would. And so going through Terraform going through the Cloudflare UI and making sure that all of my configuration settings match kind of sucks. It kind of sucks in the UI. It's fine if you have 1 or 2. Once you get past 3, 4, it stinks, you know, and then 8 or 9 or 10, it's unmanageable. And I couldn't imagine if you're a business doing it. So anyways, I've done it. I think it's cool. I think there's definitely a time and place for Terraform. You know, I know both Ansible and Terraform kind of blur the lines between, you know, configuration and provisioning. They both kind of do, but I like it. And I got to learn Terraform State when I did it too. Still on the fence about that. Like I like it and I understand why they have it. You just kind of gotta go all in or do it in an idempotent way to where you're just gonna run the same thing over and over and over, and that's it, and expect, you know, the same outcome. That's why I enjoy Ansible, is because you know, you declare your state, you know, in code, and then you tell it this desired state you want it to be. And I understand why why Terraform also has this thing called state and why you need to manage it, which is nice because, for instance, like on my Cloudflare config, I can say go import the current Cloudflare config and keep that as my local state, which is cool because I don't want to go back and replicate all those settings, you know, in Terraform if I don't have to. So, anyways, long story short, I like it. I need to do more of it. I like it. I wish it was part of my job, honestly. I wish it was because I want to use it more, you know, and a lot of it leads into like what enterprises are doing and how they're terraforming cloud or private cloud or anything like that, or provisioning machines. And I'm at a point where it's like, it's awesome when I do it. I wish I could do more of it. And so that's where I wish I did it as part of my job. Maybe when I start the next big thing with the next big company, they'll be doing it, and if not, I can bring it there because I like it a lot. So, anyways, that's my take on it. I have no qualms. I think it's awesome. I wish I could do more of it. Otterlord. Currently, I'm not working on something. Hey, that's okay because I sold my laptop. Working on buying a new laptop. Hey, that's okay. Well, congratulations on selling your laptop. That's often hard to do, selling old stuff. And I hope you buy the most awesome laptop. I hope it's one that you really enjoy. I don't know. I hope you get many years out of it, as I did like my old Lenovo that every now and then makes it into some of my videos. And that thing's like 15 years old and still kicking. So anyways, it's totally okay if you're not working on stuff. I hope you get a new laptop, and I hope it's everything you want it to be. I'm the dictionary guy. Hello. How's it going? Jimbo Slice Chicago. I like it. Chicago deep dish style pizza. We talking pizza? What are we talking about? My latest project, my fridge LED lights flicker, and the part is $400. Trying to fix it myself by replacing a few resistors. I like it. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You know, you think about, you know, refrigerators that have incandescent light bulbs. You know, they incandescent rarely flicker. If they do, they only flicker for a minute or two before they burn up. Unless you shake, you know, and the filament kind of touches again, you get kind of lucky for another, I don't know, minute or two. But if you have a newer refrigerator and your LEDs start to burn up, yeah, what do? You're not just gonna go pop in another LED. So I like what you're doing, trying to replace some resistors to get it working. That is awesome. That is beyond me, but for $400, I think I would figure it out. I think I'd be in the same boat that you're in right now, not wanting to pay $400 and probably spend a week of time trying to figure it out because I'm not paying $400 for one LED light bulb. I hear you. That's awesome. I haven't had that happen yet. I have to check my current refrigerator. It came with the house. That's how they do it in Minnesota. You when you buy a home here, it comes with appliances. But everyone shuffles around their old appliances and always throws it in the house before they sell it. Anyways, so I have to check if we have incandescent bulbs or LED. So I'm thinking incandescent. The good old bulbs that use a lot more energy but easy to replace. Gen Z Yoda. I'm fairly new to DNS sinkholes. How do multiple Pi-hole setups work, really? I'm currently having a single Pi-hole instance running, though. Hey, Gen Z Yoda. Yeah, so I set up, I have multiple DNS servers. I actually have 3. Long story, pretend I have 2. And so I have a primary and a secondary DNS. All the clients will ask, you know, for DNS entries, you know, hey, what is this entry? What's the IP? Yada, yada, yada. They'll cache it. So, you know, normal stuff going on. The way that I get them to work together is this thing called Gravity Sync. Gravity Sync is this tool. It's changed a little bit over time. But this tool that will sync both your DNS records, so your A records, your C names, and your block list. So if you have 2 you have set up together, install Gravity Sync on one, and then you tell it, hey, you know, who do I want to sync with? It will go out and reach out to the other one, and then it does a lot of fancy syncing. I mean, I'm calling it a lot of fancy syncing. I think they hash both things. They look for differences. If there is a difference, then they'll transfer one to the other, I think based on date or something like that. But it's pretty automatic after you get it set up. I've rebuilt my DNS servers, I don't know, 3-4 times. And every time I install Gravity Sync, especially with the latest one, I'm like, how do I do what I used to do before, which is just a poll? And I rack my brain every time. I just did it a couple of weeks ago because I switched over my DNS servers to my Cloud Init image. Anyways, long story short, use Gravity Sync, install it on, what I do is I install it on my second one and I just pull. I know they have Smart Sync now and it can go both ways, but the way I look at it is my DNS one is my source of truth. That's the only one I edit, and that's the one that I want my DNS 2 pulling from. So, but yeah, check it out. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. It's still one of the few things that does it. I think there's a Docker version now that someone made that sounds pretty cool. Juicy Happy. I need to get my emotes back on screen. Salvarius, howdy folks. How's it going? Chuck Norris, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. CBN Sandwich. Setting up blank for a client-side NAS VS Code server for my team. I bet Cloudflare? Tunnels.net? I don't know. It's a URL in there that probably doesn't matter, but you're setting up something for a client-side NAS with VS Code server for my team. That is awesome. CBN Sandwich. 69. That is awesome. Sounds fun. I need to get my code server back up and running. I rely too much on my laptop plus VPN, and every now and then, like my work laptop doesn't have the right SSH key, so I have to do like a whole bunch of crazy stuff to get that working. Would be nice if I could just get into my VS Code server, has the proper SSH keys, make a quick code change and push it up and call it a day. Because most of my infrastructure is backed by code, and so just making a quick change and merging it in gets that deployed. So, but awesome. 69, nice. Populous Mocha. Sorry I always say it like that. For some reason it's fun to say it like that. Populous. Any experience with NetMaker? No, I don't have any experience with NetMaker. I don't even know what it is. I assume is it like a DHCP kind of IPAM or something like that? I don't know what it is. Maybe I should know what it is. Let's see. Chuck Norris finally started learning Go. Hey, nice. Loving it so far. Awesome. I've done one thing in Go. So Go as in Golang. I've done like one thing in Go. It was at some developer conference. And it was, we had to create, I think, an image conversion binary. And I think it was just a simple create a binary that converts like a PNG to a JPEG or something like that. And then you could add flags like for compression, quality level, and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. Other than that, I haven't done it. I've done a ton of other programming languages. Go is the one that, again, it's like, I want to learn it. I kind of want to learn it on the clock and by someone who knows it and who has done it. And that's not to say I couldn't learn it on my own, but I have so much going on. But I would love to learn it from someone who already knows it and apply it to real world stuff. That's where I start to see like a lot of the value, or how I learn the best is like, yeah, pair up with someone, ask some questions, write some code, have them review it. And the code is solving like a real world problem for that business. And then that's where I'm just like, all right, got it. Lay down some good patterns and then copy pasta. But that's awesome. You're far ahead of me if you're started learning. Cause like I said, I did one small little code camp session on Go. It was awesome, but that was years ago. Hey, MDT Grease Monkey. Hey, thanks for the Prime sub, 5 months. Thank you so much. Thanks for the Prime sub. Thank you. Fearless Jake, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. CBM Sandwich, that was not supposed to be a link. Oh, nats.ws. Gotcha. Nats.ws. I was wondering why nats was plural. And I still don't even know what nats.ws is. I should know this stuff. Man, you guys are schooling me on some network stuff, but it's all good. No harm, no foul. Twitch sometimes thinks that things are links, and you don't get deducted DKP or anything like that. They just mask it to be on the safe side. Bigglesworth, I'm working on repairing old PS2 PC steering wheel for American Trucking Simulator. Going to try my luck at resoldering a rotary potentinometer. Can't even say that word. Let me try this. Potentinometer. Potentiometer? I don't know. I can't say that word. I don't even know what it is. To the circuit board today. I'm assuming it's the rotary thing built in, to make the wheel turn. I need to know that word. I need to know how to pronounce it. And that's English too, and I can't even pronounce it. But that is awesome. So PS2 steering wheel to play a American Trucking Simulator and getting it working. That sounds awesome. So I assume then once you get that working, then you're going to use PS2 to USB dongle to then convert it to USB, I assume, because you wouldn't have a PC that still had PS2 that could play American Trucking Simulator. I don't think. Maybe you would. Sounds awesome, Mr. Bigglesworth. That sounds super fun. That's right up my alley. Fixing old stuff to play video games and maybe a little soldering and a lot of luck. That's that's my wheelhouse. Soldering and a lot of luck, I think, is because I've only done it a handful of times. One of my most successful soldering endeavors was soldering. It was soldering on antenna wires. I had to flip them on top of this wireless access point so I could put DDWRT on it. I had to I had to flip the wireless antennas and at the same time solder on, I don't know, I think a serial port so I could load DDWRT on it. And I got it working and I was pretty amazed. I was like, that was my first time buying soldering at all. I went to Micro Center, bought an iron and everything, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I got it working. Anyways, good luck. Good luck for sure. The bird bloke. I like birds too. Hey, finally getting around to containerizing my VM workloads, running on XCPNG. Awesome. What workloads? I'm curious. I'm curious what you're running on there. I'm always curious what people are running, for sure, because I run stuff, but it's 100% my use case, and I'm always interested in what other people are running, for sure. Anno 9. I'm just going with Anno. Terraform, your opinion, any tips? We talked about it. I like it. We talked about it in depth. Yamas. Yames. That's what I'm going. No, I'm going with Yamez. Yamez.exe _exe. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Dax, hey boss, how's it going? It's going pretty good. A little bit tired. I have a lot to do. I don't even, maybe I'll name off the stuff I have to do. I have to finish up, no, I'm not gonna. I have to mow the lawn. I have to do life stuff. I have to prepare for the 45 Drive Summit. I have to prepare, finish, and practice my talk that I have to do at 45 Drives. I still need some stuff before I go to Nova Scotia, so I have a lot to do. Luckily, I got this video out today, so that clears up a few things. I almost just dropped a bomb on who I'm working with this next video, but they have some feedback for that, so I got to fix that. So, anyways, normal stuff, but on top of that, traveling. I like traveling after I'm already there. Everything leading up to it is like, oh my gosh, it's for me, it's like moving. I don't like the act of moving, but I like being somewhere new. So once I'm somewhere new, I'm like, oh, that was so awesome. But everything leading up to it is just like, it stresses me out. Jimbo Slice, my latest project. Hey, we heard that. Audacity. I'm currently trying to set up some smart home automations. Just bought a SmartThings Hub yesterday. Awesome. I thought about dabbling in SmartThings Hub. For the most part, I use Zigbee Hub through Hue. So I have a hub too, and then Home Assistant, and then HomeKit, and all kinds of stuff going on with my smart home. But that is awesome. I hope you figure it out. Let me know how SmartThings is. SmartThings is, well, you can connect anything to it. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I have a couple of friends who are really big into SmartThings, Samsung SmartThings. And on top of that, their SmartThings, their headquarters, even though they're owned by Samsung, is here in Minneapolis. They bought the company prior to being owned by Samsung. They were their own company in here in Minneapolis. That's pretty cool. Randoneering, don't feel guilty, man. Life first, stream later. Yeah, that's kind of what I had to do. I kind of had to put Friday's stream on hold and then postpone, and now it's here. But that's all that matters now. Happy Sunday. Hello. Yes, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Let's see. Akash, finishing up building a large local a local large MySQL database and vector storage DB for an ML project. Wow. So I don't know anything about vector storage database. I understand ML, so you're doing some machine learning. I understand about MySQL databases, but that is awesome. So you're finishing up building a local large MySQL database and vector storage for your ML project. That is awesome. Is it a personal project? What are you going to be training it? What are you doing with it? I'm curious. Randomeering, resting my eyes for a little while with the other two kiddos while the other two kiddos rest. Yeah, thank you. Hey, thanks, randomeering. Appreciate it. Have a safe flight. I appreciate it. It must be nap time for you. That's what it means. I don't do naps. My wife thinks I'm crazy because I don't take naps ever, but I'm just not that kind of person, even when I'm tired. Like, if I ever fall asleep, it means something's really wrong with me. I think I fell asleep. I don't know, randomly on the couch. I think it was about 2 months ago. My wife was like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, what just happened? What day is it?" Because that's what happens to me if I ever take a nap. I'll wake up and it's 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like thinking it's 8 in the morning, ready to start a new day. And then little do I know it's the same day. I get so confused. Anyways, Nuke Nick. Saito. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. What are your thoughts on Orange Pi 3/4 boards for creating a NAS server? Raspberry Pi board still not available. I don't know enough about them. I get it. A little more powerful. They're a little more powerful, more available than a Raspberry Pi. But I have zero take on it because I don't know enough about them. But I'm saying, like, if it's gonna fulfill your needs, if I don't know what you're going to be running on there. You say a storage server or NAS. I don't know what you're going to be running on there. If it's just a NAS for NAS sake and you are fine with the throughput you're going to get, gigabit, maybe more, 2.5, I don't know. And it does everything you need and it's low power, go for it. Yeah, go for it. Why not? I don't have any thoughts on it because I've never used one. But in general, when most people ask for my opinion on, name this product with this paired with this use case that I have, my most likely answer is going to be just go for it. Just go for it. Because one, you probably know more than the thing that that you're asking about, and two, if it does everything you need, and you've already researched it, like I think you may have, my opinion may not sway you. But I don't have one. If I had some opinions to give, I would definitely give them. Not short of opinions, but I haven't used it. But I'm kind of in the camp now of like, I want my NAS to be dumb and low power. That's kind of I think where I'm trying to go. I don't know. I don't need a ton of compute. I've always said that in my NAS. It's just hard to find something that's both low power and can hold a lot of drives. And I'm not saying like, hey, your power usage isn't going to go up as you add drives. I'm talking about idle, 0 drives. I want something that sips power. I don't need, a big beefy server and running virtualization. I mean, my use case is different than all of yours. I have virtualization servers, so I can, I have those roles dedicated to other machines. So I don't need yet another beefy, powerful machine that's just doing, I say just, air quotes, but just being my NAS. And so I'm going back to, I just want my NAS to be a NAS. I'm kind of getting back on that boat. I've swung both sides of this equation, and I'm kind of getting back to there where I just want my NAS to be a NAS, and on top of that, I want it to be low power. So hey, your solution is sounding better by the minute, but let me know how it works out. Salvarius, 45 drives YouTuber celebration 2023. 45 drives provides hardware. Wendell's tweaks it. Tim creates homelab setup. Gearling automates it, and Kraft watches sipping on an IPA. I like it. Yeah, I don't know how or what or how this is going to go. I have an outline of the day. I have an outline of everything that's going to happen throughout the day, but who knows? I'm sure I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be, I might be a little starstruck. We'll see. It's odd because I've talked to everyone individually at some point or another. And I've talked to them, in Discord, some on voice chats, you name it. And some on video conferences. But I've never met them in person. And in some of them, I've only talked to in chat, but I still feel like I kind of know them. So I don't know. It's going to be weird. Now I'm getting weird about it. It's kind of weird because, I talked to Jeff Geerling. I talk to him every now and then on Discord. And I talked to him on a Zoom call one time. And it struck me. I'm like, wait, this is our first time talking, but yet I feel like I know so much about him. It was kind of weird. It's kind of weird, but not. All the weirdness was on this side, nothing from him. But it just struck me. I was like, wait, I've never talked to you before, but I'm talking to you like I've known you for a couple of months or so. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes, and with the backdrop of being at 45 Drives with all their smart people. I mean, folks at 45 Drives are super smart, storage experts, Ceph experts, you name it, hardware experts, and I'm pretty excited about it. Plus, Nova Scotia, never been there. Excited about that. That's one place in Canada I've never been, and the weather looks like it's going to be 50 to 70s. That is like my perfect weather. I mean, I could go for upper 40s to 65. That's kind of my jam. So I need a hoodie at night, but still, I'll take it. It's going to be windy, though, most likely. So, a high of 68 with some wind is going to be great. The Dobler. Hi, Tim. I set up a VLAN at home and want to access my Chromecast and Apple TV from another VLAN. How do I get these devices to be visible? Yeah, good question. I don't know what you're using for your VLANs, for your layer, I think, 3 switching. I think it's 3. You guys are going to correct me. Anyways, there's... So on Unify, I use Unify for mine. On all of my VLANs, there's this option to check. It's called MDNS, multicast DNS. That's most likely what you want to turn on. And what that does is it allows the source network to broadcast. So if the source network broadcasts, it allows those broadcasts to go across network and then only go back to the device who broadcast. I mean, I don't even know that's exactly how it works, but that's how I understand it works. But anyways, look for a setting called MDNS, multicast DNS. I think you set it on your source network. I could be wrong. I always get this confused, but I think you set it on your source network. So where so if you're doing your Chromecast and your Apple TV, if that's on your IoT network and you're on your phone that's on your trusted network, I think you want to turn it on your trusted network. That will allow that broadcast to go out and then those responses to come back, and then so you can cast to those devices, especially in Apple TV. Same thing. So MDNS, there's another setting in there that you rarely have to turn on, but MDNS should fix it for both Apple and Chromecast devices. And your mileage may vary depending on how the vendors supports MDNS. It was bad on Unify. It's gotten fantastic now. But in early days, Unify stuff, it pretty much did not work for me for Apple stuff. But now it works flawlessly. So let's see. MKTBS, migrating website from Grav CMS to a new blog plugin for material for MK Docs. Gotcha. So I don't know Grav CMS. I'm assuming it's like most CMS. It's a real CMS, content management system with a back-end database, front-end UI, and an admin back office to modify posts and stuff like that. But that's cool. So then you're moving to MK Docs. So you're switching to static content, and at the same time using the material theme for it. Awesome. I'm a huge fan of MK Docs plus material, and material in general. I love. I do a lot of material stuff. I've done Android development. I've done a lot of React stuff using Material UI. So I'm a huge fan of just material in general from Google. It's pretty nice. Informatic. I'm trying to get familiar with microcates on Proxmox, but as simple as it should be, I'm struggling adding the nodes. Yeah, I've never done, to be honest, I've never done microcates. I should at some point. I never have. I got bit by K3S, and I've been sticking with it. So I hope you figure it out. It's supposed to be easy, right? I mean, I'm saying this kind of facetiously, but They make it seem like it's so easy, and so I'm not doubting that it's I'm doubting that it's easy as they say it is, because setting up Kubernetes in general is, you know, it can be challenging. So I'm betting it is challenging. So I hope you figure it out for sure. Alexander, hey, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Let's see, PC Geek, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Whoa, well, let's flash that up there one more time. After my switch to TrueNAS Scale, I'm not happy with their container environment. The UI is complicated for running simple Docker containers since it uses K3s. I'd rather just run a VM with Docker if I need containers on my NAS. Yeah, I'm with you, man. You know, you know, for a long time they talked about, yes, we support Docker, and yes, we support, you know, Kubernetes. And then, you know, when I started looking under the hood, I realized, well, kinda. You know, I mean, it's basically they're using K3s under the hood, but they're using Docker as their CRI for their container runtime. And so in order to use Docker, you still have to configure it like a Kubernetes deployment, which makes things more complicated. So that's why I say kinda. But yeah, I've been there. You know, hey, this goes back to my saying I was just saying earlier. Maybe you're thinking that now too. Just gonna let my NAS be a NAS. We'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of back on that wagon. I already run K3s in a cluster, so having it for a simple container too is overkill, in my honest opinion. Yeah, I was that way too. But then I changed because I used to have all of my containers in Kubernetes. Well, I had some containers in Kubernetes because I wanted them high available, or you name it. I wanted to manage them a certain way. And I still had my Portainer stack with just my Docker stuff because it was easier. Well, the more I did, hey, do this stuff in Kubernetes, do this stuff in Docker. I have GitOps with Kubernetes. I don't have GitOps with Docker. You know, the more I lived in two worlds, that back and forth was for me, started to be overkill. Managing two different platforms started to become overkill for me. And so what I ended up doing, I don't know, a year ago, was just say, I'm outside of just plain old testing, I'm only going to run stuff in Kubernetes. Because then it's like, okay, then I have a way to update them. I have storage already. I have Longhorn storage for it all. I have ways to back it up because my whole entire cluster gets backed up, and then that gets backed up to Minio. I have load balancers solved already. I have an ingress solved already with traffic. I have certificates solved. Like, I had everything solved already in my Kubernetes cluster. And then to, create Docker containers and kind of do one-offs in there, I felt like, that was tough for me. So anyways, I get it that, managing an additional, I don't know, like, for me, the incremental cost on Kubernetes is tiny, right? To set up Kubernetes to begin with, huge. To add one more container, it's, incremental cost. It's, do the things, configure the things, and you get all the other things. So logging, you name it. So I was there where you are, and I ended up saying, like, okay, no more outside of testing and outside of, like, hey, stuff for videos and testing. Like for a while, I tested scripted, and I ran that in a Docker container. Once I found out how awesome it was and it was going to stick around, like, that's something I didn't want to throw in my Kubernetes cluster right away, right? It controls my doorbells. It does all this stuff. It does stuff with Unify. It does stuff with HomeKit, and it works with Home Assistant at the same time. Put it in Docker. I left it there. I left it there for a month. But I knew, like, if I'm going to keep using this stuff, it's going to graduate to my production. So Docker becomes my, my testing kind of staging, maybe. testing, staging, development, all that stuff. But once I decide I'm going to keep something, then I figure out a way to get it to Kubernetes. But yeah, I hear you, man. I've been through that stuff. Sounds like you're walking in my old footsteps. Jay Sizzle, that would be interesting to see Proxmox on a USB. Yeah, it can be done. Yeah, it can be done. It can be done on an SD card. It can be. But they say there's so many read writes. Like, there's so many people who tell you not to do it. And then there's so many people who tell you, I've been doing it for years. And I get it. You don't want to do that in an enterprise. And they're probably have their enterprise cap on. They're saying, hey, this isn't good. And I agree. It's not a good practice. But then you have homelab people saying, I've been doing it for years and I don't want to dedicate another hard drive to just, Proxmox itself, the OS, when I have everything backed up. That's kind of where I'm somewhere in between there. Keeps happening. I keep going back and forth. Hey, dude, Cyber Knight, how's it going? Dude, thank you so much. Dude, gifted 5 tier 1 subs. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Dude, Cyber Knight, thank you. Gifted 5 tier 1 sub to Tropical Kings, Dr. Cuddle, Clear 4 Blue, 500 Internal Error, and Chuck Norris 63. Enjoy gifted sub from Cyber Knight. How's it going? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Good to see you. Deji Dub, yeah, it was scripted, exactly. Thank you, Thunder God. Scripted with the Y. I did a video on it, and I have a lot of good documentation on it. You can go on my doc site and type that in. You'll find the video along with all of my configuration. And it was a way to integrate all of my Unify cameras into HomeKit. And I say that, but it's more of an interface. It's an interface, so you can integrate with Google Home. You can integrate Real-Link cameras. It's basically a big interface. So, take camera sources, get them into a home platform, and it's in the middle. And it's pretty cool. A lot of people have done it, with just RTMP, generic RTMP streams into HomeKit or into Google Home. It's pretty cool. Let's see. PC Geek, I've used Input Director for controlling multiple Windows PCs. Yeah, I remember. I've heard that name before. I have to remember if that was like owned by a company or got bought out. But yeah, I still do. That is awesome. I never got into doing that because I would always just end up using RDP. And I could see where this is totally powerful. Like, you need the multiple displays on, and you want to take, over that current session where, RDP isn't going to let you do that, and you want to use all that hardware. So it's pretty cool to be able to do it with Mouse Without Borders. Such a funny name. But yeah, I'll have to check out Input Director. I kind of like that it's it's built in the PowerToys, and it's super simple too, and it's open source coming from Microsoft, and I already have them installed, so I think I'm going to stick with it if I need to do it. Their UI to do it is a little bit, it's okay. It's okay. I think it can be improved, and I shouldn't just take shots at how it's been implemented, but the whole new key, add a system by name like that, it's kind of weird. But I'm sure it'll get smoothed out. Hey, Xavius, how's it going? Resub, tier 1, 21 months. How's it going, man? Oh, hey, wait, this is Sunday, 2 p.m.? Yeah, so totally surprise stream, man. How's it going? Yeah, I hopped on today because I was supposed to go Friday. Then I had a meeting scheduled over the stream that I couldn't say no to. And then I thought I'd do it Saturday, but Saturday I had to wrap up the video that I got out this morning. So then after I got all that out, plus a couple other things, I decided to hop on. Thunder God, I'm running straight Docker on Proxmox VMs. Yeah, when I do TrueNAS, I won't be using the containers on it. Yeah, I hear you. I don't either. Yeah, I'm there with you. Even when I still run TrueNAS, and I've never run a container there. Ever. And I might have to soon. I got to figure some stuff out. So TrueNAS is, I feel like TrueNAS is also doing the, hey, let the NAS be a NAS thing. This might be a theme. Because TrueNAS is starting to strip away, some of their I'd say core features in upcoming releases. At least Scale is doing that. Yeah, exactly. They're deprecating Minio. And I totally get it. From a business standpoint, I 100% get it. Like, why are we supporting, Minio as a first-class TrueNAS service when we can just tell people to configure it on K3S and Docker, quote unquote, because we support K3S and, and there's a Minio container for it. So why not just have them do that? Like, I totally get it from a business sense. It just kind of stinks because now I have to figure all that out again. So I actually might be running my first and only container back on TrueNAS once they stop supporting Minio. But I'm going to make sure that I don't update right away. I'm pretty trigger happy on clicking updates, but I'm not going to click update on that one. I'm going to read the release notes for everyone because I don't want it to just totally like go away on me. So anyways, yeah, I get it from a business standpoint. From them, like if I were them, and I were a developer, I'd be saying the same thing. There's probably developers telling them that for years, for years. But yet, someone on their product team was like, well, we've already supported, so we kind of got to keep it. But from a business standpoint and from a software development standpoint, why take care of someone else's dependency? Like, why bake in someone else's dependency for your core product? It slows you down. You got to support it. Like, all of a sudden you become, support and development for this feature that can be installed in other ways that you could, basically push off to someone else and say, oh, it's in K3S now, it's their fault or whatever. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying in general, like, that'd be like if I release some software, I'd be like, oh, by the way, my software, you can also run Node, and I'm just going to support it. And then every problem that comes up, I'm like, why am I supporting this thing when they have an alternate way to install Node? Just install Node yourself, and then I don't have to support it anymore. Anyways, I'm babbling now, but yeah. Anyways, I get what you mean. I'm there with you. TrueNAS runs nothing but TrueNAS stuff. But shortly, I think I'm going to be running MinIO on it, then too, or MinIO. And, because I think TrueNAS is also doing hey, I'm going to let the NAS be a NAS. It's a theme for today. Thunder God, my Zima board is running my Pi-hole in traffic. Awesome. Convenient. I no longer bring down my DNS and internal domain names when I reboot my servers. Awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, that's a great use case for it. I didn't even think about that one. I always think about plugging hardware into it because just because it's available. Actually, my Zima board is running that B-roll loop back there. And I have it power over Ethernet now. I bought an Ethernet power over Ethernet adapter. I plugged it in. It's powering on via my switch. And it's powering that screen of B-roll of my my server stack. So yeah, I'm a huge fan. But that is awesome. So so for a while on a Raspberry Pi, I ran traffic and I ran Pi-hole on a Raspberry Pi to be my low power, like always on solution on battery backup, so that if I shut my whole entire stack down outside of my my modem and my switch, that the house would still have DNS, and it would work that way. But I didn't think about Zima boards. That's a good point, because then you have an SSD, you have more compute, you have more everything. You have more everything for sure. Veteran BV, I've stopped using Pi-hole for the DNS portion. Still using ad blocking, but after that, using Bind 9, I've been having a much better time of some of the more complex configurations. That is awesome. Yeah, that is awesome. I considered it too. Yeah, maybe someday. I know that a lot of people use it. I know that Christian made a video on it. I've considered it too. I have a lot in there. And also I heard there's a Terraform provider for Pi-hole. I actually considered doing a video on it. It's in my backlog. And I might, just because, because I'm tired of clicking buttons in my Pi-hole DNS. So I want a way to tie in and do Terraform into my Pi-hole. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll do a fun one. And that's totally just going to be because just because video, because no one ever needs to do that except for me. Nuke. I'm going with Nukin. I was just checking out Zima boards this morning. Yeah, I'm a fan. I like them. I'm going to be honest. Odd form factor. It is. I could probably get by without the PCI Express slot. I get why it's there. But I'm a huge fan. Super duper low power x86 processor with some of the x86 features, along with plugging in an SSD or even running on the eMMC is super nice to have, and having a quad core and 4, 8, 16 gigs of RAM, whatever, it's super nice. It's super nice. Let's see. I use Terraform for deploying test VMs to do K3S Ansible testing on Proxmox. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you do. And Packer to build the CloudInit template from a Debian net install ISO. Yeah, for sure. It's yeah. This is pretty much exactly what I was working on last week, but to add a deployment from Git. Yeah, it has a lot of use cases, and there are tons of providers. Like I'm a huge fan. Like I said, I wish I could do more of it. Oh, hey guys, I do apologize. I do go roughly about an hour. I'm a little bit over. I'm just gonna totally just click on things that are long. I don't know. Long comments. And try to get through them. Panic switched. Got my home lab picked up today and sent off to a good new home. Got a mini lab PC up and running. Ended up just setting up Nginx Proxy Manager, and I got it working. Hey, nice. Yeah, I know. A lot of people, shouldn't say a lot, but this has come up. Like, some people are downsizing due to power, due to cost, due to new hobbies, due to whatever, better efficiency. And yeah, some people are switching to mini PCs. I actually did a test. I've been almost 3 weeks into my test of shutting down 2 of my one-use servers and having those workloads be powered by my Intel NUCs, and it's so far so good. And so sometimes one mini PC can do it for you. But that's awesome. Got Nginx Proxy Manager up and all working, so you are well on your way to just using it, and then you send it off to a good new home. That is awesome. Hopefully, it's someone who's excited to learn, who will take good care of your previous kids, or what, I don't know, your old servers. I'm always excited when I sell something to someone who's excited about using it, and most of the time that's the case, so they wouldn't be buying it. But yeah. Those are always more fun than, like, just hey, want to buy this? Sure. Or hey, want this? Sure. And then it sits somewhere. No, I want the people who are excited to use this stuff, for sure. Okay. Hey guys, I don't mean to cut it short, but I have to because I'm a little bit over. If I did skip over your question or comment, I do apologize. If you want me to answer it, I'll absolutely answer it as soon as I can. Just tag me on Twitter, wherever, Mastodon, Twitter, even in Discord. Ping me with your message, and I'll definitely try to get back as soon as possible. So man, thank you guys all so much. Thank you. There were tons of follows. There were tons of subs. There was tons of bits, so I really appreciate it. Gifted subs, I really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for being here on a Sunday on this surprise stream. It totally was a surprise stream, and it turned out pretty good. I didn't tell anyone until maybe 15 minutes before, and you guys showed up, so I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will be out. So quick PSA, I will be out next Friday for the stream, but we're having a live stream. I think it's going to be on 45 Drives on their YouTube channel. There's going to be a live stream that involves me, Wendell, Tom Lawrence, Jeff Geerling, all the people I named, and Jeff from Craft Computing, all the people I named earlier. I think we're all doing a live stream on the 45 Drives YouTube channel, I think Saturday, and maybe from a boat. I don't know. I've seen what they've been saying, and I think it might happen, but we'll see. So, anyways, look, I'll for sure announce it in Discord, probably in the announcements channel when we do go live or somewhere, so you guys can sign up ahead of time. But I think it might be on a boat. Honestly, I don't know how they're going to pull this one off, but I love the ambition. I think they are. I think they're going to pull it off. So, anyways, look for that. So I won't be live. And then I'll try to wrap up, some of my trip in a future video. But also, if you have questions you want to send them or things you're curious about, ping me somewhere, and I'll add it to my list of questions that I have for them. Then I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna ask them, and it's all the people from their headquarters who have all the answers, and they are very honest and very open and very helpful. So I expect to get honest, helpful, and open answers. So, anyways. On a boat in Nova Scotia, Titanic. Yeah, we're not going that far out. Just a little bit out in the harbor. And we'll have life jackets, and there will be enough for everyone on the boat. So I'll be sure of it. So anyways, have a great week. Have a great week. I'll see you sometime because I'll be in Nova Scotia next week. I'll check in on all the socials. I'll probably have something small. Who knows? Maybe if I have time on Friday night or Saturday morning, maybe I'll go live from Canada. Who knows? That's note to self. Bring my small camera just in case, because my webcam won't cut it. Actually, my iPhone is the webcam too. So, anyways, I'll stop dragging it out. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Dude, real quick. Oh, thank you so much, Sigor. Yeah, resub, Prime, 30 months. Let's go. Thank you so much, Sigor. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyways, tag me anywhere on socials if you need me. I will be in Discord later on. And have a good week and take care, folks. Be good to each other. Take care.